Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the finest Dawn of War unification casts this side of East Yorkshire. And today we've got a 2 versus 2 on Abandoned Jungle. Playing as Imperial Guard, we've got R, and as the Space Marines, we've got Hero Burner M. On the opposing team, as the Dark Eldar, we've got Bar Nep Nief and his comrade Beavis as the Necrons. Do quite like the pairing for both of these teams. Obviously, Space Marines and Imperial Guard, they're law-friendly, they're fighting for the Imperium and whatnot. Whereas the Dark Eldar, they can't really torture the Necrons. The Necrons are just kind of vibing, I guess, helping each other in whatever way and manner that they can. So I do believe that we're going to see some conscripts from Orr in this game, which implies that he's going to go for an early tier 2, as obviously the conscripts are a lot cheaper than their fully qualified comrades, sticking an infantry command over yonder to help protect this strategic point. Now, Dark Eldar and Necrons are quite an interesting combination in the sense that, well, the Dark Eldar are quite swift, quite maneuverable, strong at tier 1 in unification. Necrons are kind of the bipolar opposite, really. They're a slow burner. They want to gradually build up their forces and their economy before pushing out, so it'll be interesting to see how the chalk and cheese of that situation works out. I'm going to see some scouts popping up, having a little bit of a look at the strategic point. And yeah, cheeky heavy bolter turret being popped down over on this relic here, going to deny any expansion from the Dark Eldar too quickly over on this side, which is fair enough after all those mandrakes. And he is opening up a warrior squad. By the by, just a wonderful colour scheme from both these players. All the pink, making all the boys wink for both the Necrons and the Dark Eldar. Oh, the scouts have very kindly given the strategic point to the conscripts here. Very polite of them. Who said chivalry is dead in the 41st millennium? We have all seen that the Space Marine player has gone for the Ultramarine skin. So let's see if the plot armour weaved into their ceramite can save them for the battle that is to come. Got some Necrons out quite early, to be honest. Pushing a little bit further away from the base than you normally would see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plasma generators as well, so one more than the standard opening. But no major aggression at the moment. Dark Eldar just taking one strategic point at a time, making sure that they don't get caught out from any nefarious means or deeds. Got any cool banners? Got an eye? That's cool. We've got a... What are you? Do you want to show us your banner? We've got a standard Imperial banner. Oh, we'll look at the banners later on. We've got some action. Mandrakes going up against the Mandem, being supported by warriors, but will be chased away by this heavy bolter turret. At the moment, they've not got really anything to contend with. Yeah, that shade of pink makes it look like they're wearing flesh. It's like they're cosplaying as flayed ones. What was the other banner? We've got Space Marines. Oh, of course, it's the banner of McCrag. Why would it be anything else? Okay, double Necron warriors on the northern side. Servitors just moving around. I'm going to say, oh, we've gone for a quick tier 2 on the Space Marine side as well. Which I do believe is what the Sacred Artifact signifies. So yeah, some quick advanced units, I imagine. Eldar not really doing all that much. They're kind of just... They're a bit stuck, really. They're going to stick a Ghost Tower of Anguish down, which is not normally something that the Dark Eldar do. You normally would see them get somewhere really quick, pop that down like in a more aggressive kind of stance, but clearly the Imperial Guard had more forward thinking in that regard. So the south is captured by the western team, north being consolidated by the eastern team. Necron Lord might be listening to us later on, who knows. Chapel Barracks going to be finished. And we're going to go for some Bionics level 2 and target finders. I'm going to speed things up just a smidgen while we wait for some action to happen. Good use of the slave chamber, already collecting souls for future engagements. There we go, Necrons are now going to be pushing out over onto this unprotected listing post. And while the Imperial Guard have managed to hold... Well, they've popped a turret down south to keep it safe, but Space Marine's not doing anything of the sort, really. But we do have... Ooh, we've got an Honor Guard on the way. Throwing a grenade in. Giving them all that bad juju. Kind of like a... Reminds me of the... What do you call them? The Grey Knight Smite with that spirally effect. So I do believe that the Honor Guard replaced the Grey Knights in the Space Marines in unification. Don't quote me on it, but that's what I believe. Yeah, Honor Guard charging around. Not messing around at all. They want to slice and dice up into close combat. This is a lot for even the Honor Guard to deal with on their own. But holding these guys off just a little bit longer just to keep that listing post up and ready. Not sure if it's a wise investment though. I mean, how much do you cost in real money? It's up 60 blue money and 30 green money, so quite inexpensive, especially when you're on only 2 plasma generators as well. It's not what you want. But look at that guy just absolutely yeeting that dude off the field. Everyone coming in, enjoying themselves, having a grand gay old time. Double Scouts offering some firing support. Some regular old Space Marines going to equip themselves with some plasma guns. And a Chimera as well. So yeah, okay, fair enough. These guys do have a numerical advantage, but give the Space Marines and the Imperial Guard a little bit of time to set up for their more advanced technology, and they'll be right as rain. Necrons taking the brunt of this Chimera. Are seeing some Dark Eldar shenanigans. I do believe that's the reduced line of sight ability, if I'm not mistaken. The Honor Guard tying these warriors up at the back ranks. Necrons screening the advance. Haven't gone for their disruption field yet, so they are more useful in close combat than they are ranged combat at the moment. Mandrake's getting a couple of good slices on these tactical marines, but will be taken down. Got a squad of fully qualified guardsmen over here, losing their morale. And the Chimera being pegged on all sides by the Necron Lord and his cadre of warriors. Do have a Ghost Turret being placed down here. Probably going to be used as a fallback position, unless of course the Honor Guard get it down, which they indeed do. Got some mortals moving up, but since they've not had their advance being protected, the Honor Guard have got a free reign on slapping those bad boys down. And these guys have teleported. Oh, they're teleporting all the way back over here. It's not a full retreat. They've just fallen back to a position so they can regroup, rejuvenate, and then move forward with their immortals into... The immortals in unification are absolutely lethal. I mean, look how quickly they're able to just... What is that? What, less than 10 seconds to kill a Chimera? Well, less than 5, maybe? Insane in the membrane. Dark Warriors on the backside as well. But these Honor Guard don't die easily. They have been poisoned a little bit, but they've moved straight out of that. Hard to really keep those boys into one place. Do have an Archon on the way now, so might be able to stun them into position. But they do have a... Well, they will be able to get a company standard bearer, which allows them to ignore mind controlling abilities. Obelisk zapping these Honor Guard. Their number is quite low. Might need to get those boys out of dodge quite quick, sharpish. Tactical Marines covering the retreat of these Imperial Guard, who escaping a Chimera with but 7 health left. Honor Guard, 1 model left. Might not be able to get out of Shit's Creek. Oh no, there we go, he reinforces, so that is all golden, baby. Quite an exciting opening engagement there. Chimera, what are you doing? You brave soul, with only 7 health left. Trying to save the lives of these Honor Guard. Go on, Tech Marines, do your... Sorry, not Tech Marines, Tech Priests. Don't want to get those guys confused. Completely different kettle of fish there. Honor Guard still just being a nuisance. We have some guardsmen now with their plasma guns, 3 in total. Will certainly give these Necron warriors something to think about, and still not gone for their disruption field resets, which is quite surprising. Have they decided to tech up instead? Ah, they've teched up instead. Oh, of course, because they've gone for the Immortals. That makes total and complete sense. Also going to see a Witch Cult Arena and a Homunculus Laboratory for the Eldar. And over here we have got a smattering of conscripts being led in by the Chimera. I do quite like how the Chimera is absorbing the damage from this Tower of Loathing. A bayonet charge by the looks of things. But we do have some racks, or racks shall we say. These guys breaking the morale of all the conscripts and absolutely just messing all this stuff up. Even though conscripts are mighty in number, one singular squad of rats could probably take them all on, in all honesty. But imagine they do have quite the impressive reinforcement rate, so they wouldn't go down too quickly. We do have a Primaris Force Commander joining the Honor Guard. Look at the size of him. definitely not comical at all. Like a big blue teddy bear, ready to give the Necrons a hug. I'm sure that's how Belisarius Cawl sold the Primaris to Roberto Guilliman. Saving the world or the Imperium one hug at a time. And it all goes relatively quiet. Everyone's standing on their... I mean, really, no ground has been made apart from one listing post down here. But let's have a quick look at the economies. 56 and 20, and 70 and 60% build speed, compared to 1, 10 and 40, and 56 and 20. So realistically, two players on well, one player on either side, not really doing great on the old economic department. Necrons, they don't really need to capture that many points because, I mean, they could just build infinite generators forever and ever, amen. Guard have got the advantage purely due to their listing post. Well, their extra listing post down here. Chimera once again absorbing the fire. Conscripts not able to get anything apart from flamers. They can't be trusted with anything more advanced. But they are going to whittle away this Tower of Loathing. Stacks of Rex and a Hecatari Witch Squad ready to wreak havoc, but we do have a flanking Honor Guard armed with their company banner. They're going to charge straight into these Immortals. The Immortals will not stand a chance against these guys anytime soon. Might probably see some Necron Warriors teleport back in, and there we go. Might be an option for the Necron Warriors to go for some Ghost Reapers, just to knock back these guys and prevent them from being so maneuverable. Do have the Hecatari, Witches, and Rex almost killing a full squad of conscripts, but this plasma gun heavy bolter turret is not going to give them a warm welcome. Got Archon moving in, going to aid in the assistance, throwing down a stun, absorbing some of their health. And the Immortals trying to get some good shots off, but not really equipped to deal with an Honor Guard. Warriors also peppering these guys with their weapons. Necron Lord returning back home to defend Hearth and Kin. Yeah, Primaris Force Commander almost taking no damage in that engagement. We now have some regular old Space Marines equipping themselves with some plasma guns. Yeah, a little bit too much in the way of Immortals, I think. Not much. I mean, okay, yeah, there's a bajillion million Chimeras, but you only really need one or two Immortal squads. And now finally going to go for Forbidden Archive. It's quite a late one. Then again, with their early teching up, having to keep up with the Space Marines and Imperium, it is understandable. Vrax now closing in, going to give the Honor Guard a taste of their own medicine. One Chimera going down more or less instantly. These Space Marines trying to tie these guys up into close combat, but the Incubi and the Archon are hot on their tail. Can't seem to kill the Honor Guard, so may as well kill the ones that they can actually kill. There we go. All the Space Marines, apart from the Honor Guard, are down for the count. Now the sheer amount of firepower just been focused on these guys. Going to drop their numbers quite considerably. And yeah, only one lad left, and that is a squad wipe right there. Vrax now turning their attention to these guardsmen. We'll have to jump into the Chimera, but Chimera has been taken down. We'll need to run away, but the impressive speed of the Dark Eldar and the Vrax are going to be slapping their backsides in a way most unpleasant. Anything cool going on? We're going to see some Scourges from the Dark Eldar, more Necron Warriors from the Necrons. Anything cool from the Space Marines? Going to go into tier 3. Not building up anything else. In fact, the Space Marines have got literally no combat units on the field at the moment, so relying completely and totally in the Imperial Guard's defense. Now is the time to attack, boys. But they are going to squander this opportunity. Also need to put a listing post on this thing here, and also not actually capturing this strategic point, which is a crying shame. Do apologise if I'm sounding a bit critical. Like I said, I don't like being too critical of players in games, because that's not what we're here for, is it? We are not a critical channel. We're all here for the hype. We're all here for the, how would one say, the spectacle. Gonna go for a Sentinel from this mechanised command. Do quite like how the way these boys walk. Looks like he'll be going on the southern side to assist these conscripts, aiding them with his... Now, do you come out with a las... Oh, it doesn't come out with a las cannon straight away, so this just looks like a regular old las gun, but a little bit bigger. Do quite like the size of this man. Very chunky dude. What's going on in the middle? We've got some Imperial Guard moving over. We'll fast forward this again, just a smidge, as we know kind of what's going on. Imperial Guard looking to make a big push on the south side, massing their forces. Do have a special weapons team as well, and hold on, if you haven't seen the game where I played the Imperial Guard one time, listen to this guy's voice.
Where is it that you need me? Our devotion to the Emperor is unquestioning.
It's amazing. I love that voice actor. Whoever you are, give yourself a biscuit. That was great.
You have chosen wisely.
But yeah, these guys are not moving. They're just massing their units. They are going to go for a whole bunch of Locust Destroyers, a Dark Factory, which they are now going to cancel. Got some Scourges as well, just for good measure. And a Chimera on the way, ready to transport the men. We have... Oh, what are you? You're just another Primaris Force Commander Boreal. Can I just stand... Has he bugged out? No, he's just teasing these Locust Destroyers. But actually, their DPS is bringing even a Primaris of the Ultramarines down. Honor Guard being replaced. All these listing posts have been upgraded for the Space Marine players. Only gone for 2. Just crazy. Economy going to be attacked now. An unrelenting assault from the... Okay, oh, now... Dear oh dear. Now when all starts pushing out the minefields, now they decide to push out. Archon activating some nonsense. We are going to see a monstrous Chimera going to join the battle. Deadly in pink, just jumping over the minefield. Morale being shattered by the Dark Eldar's global abilities. Also being inspired by the Archon. Space drugs as well being popped by the Hecatari Witches. Chimera goes down. Corruption over on this side as well. But it does seem that by the sheer willpower alone and mass of las guns, they have managed to kill quite a lot of the Dark Eldar here. Monstrous Chimera losing its morale, but we do have double Locust Destroyers moving around the side, doing a little bit of flanking, and now the Necrons are coming up to bolster the Dark Eldar's assault, which is now just one Monstrous Chimera. Will turn his attention to the heavy bolter turret, armed with a plas gun. And yeah, the Imperial Guard's defenses don't look so hot right now. Got upgraded Necron Warriors, but double upgraded Necron Warriors, so their range attack is going to be absolutely lethal. Still moving into close combat range there. And we are seeing some grotesques. Like Vrax, but, well, I suppose more grotesque. There we go, the Necrons slowly walking over the corpses of the Imperium. Valkyrie firing down on all these Immortals, getting a good couple of models down. Listing post going to be slapped around by the grotesque Sentinel falling down. We've got a fully kitted out Honor Guard, which will certainly be the heroes that the Imperial Guard need in this moment. Scourges charging into close combat. They're tired of being a ranged unit. They've decided that they're transcending their original purpose. And the grotesques giving everyone the backhand. An absolute madness. But the Imperial Guard's lines are not faltering. They're just standing still, firing in quick succession. We do have it. What are you? Oh, you're a heavy bolter, but further back. Multi-layered defences, that's what I like to see. Monstrous Chimera with teeth and talons, both sharp and feral, unable to stand up against the concentrated lasgun fire of the Imperial Guard. And what a mighty defence. Bit of a staggered attack in all honesty. But it was a good effort. Oh, grotesques not feeling the effects of any morale damage. John Cena Beam coming down. Could have seen that earlier. That would have been amazing earlier on. But that's fine. It does give the grotesques a little bit of breathing room. Command Squad, though, not giving one iota of care. They're just going to stand straight in the middle of the Solar Pulse and engage a glorious close combat with the double priests. More Necron Warriors on the way. This would be an amazing place to pop down a Resurrection Orb, I do have to say. Canoptic Wraiths chasing around these guardsmen with the quadruple plasma guns. Necron Lord losing his passion for fashion in his bright pink, but still directing some fire. And, okay, well, what I said about the Imperial Guard, standing stalwart on their defence. Not doing all that hot now. We have got some Trueborn. Just look at these gorgeous boys and girls. Flowing cape. Wonderful shoulder pads, which if anyone's ever played an MMORPG, they know that once you get a shoulder pad, you are definitely a high-level character. And a frustrating turn of events, it must be said, for the Imperial Guard. Through sheer stubbornness, a lack of ability to die from the Necron part. They're now going to capture this relic down here. They will have access to both relics. Crazy. Do I have some assault? Well, there might have been some assault terminators coming our way, but we go for a full-scale war, so potential for Baneblades, possibly Titans later on. These guys are going to push further into the Imperial Guard base, give them a taste of their own medicine. Going to go for some more warriors and some pariahs. That's exciting. Also an energy core as well. And oh, good stuff. Got some Ogryn quarters. So an elite fighting force for the Imperial Guard is, by the looks of things, happening. Full-scale war. What's the plan, Mr. O? Are we going for Leman Russes, which would be quite nice against Moors and artillery? I mean, you'd wait for the Immortals to die, and then when they die, you turn your Leman Russes for more like an artillery support to move in, be more direct kind of assault vehicle. Basilisks aren't a bad shout neither. But then again, I mean, you've got the Necron Lord who can teleport, the Dark Eldar are quite mobile. Basilisks have a bit of a risk in this scenario. Valkyrie fire coming down, managing to snag all these Immortals. Wonderful shot there. Regular old Necron warriors just throwing their lives away, but that's fine. If anything, just to keep the the Imperial Guard in their base. You have a Medusa. Oh, look at you. Hold on. Let's have a ganders at you. Psychic Lady. Can't even make out a face. So twisted and maladapted from all the wicked machinations in Kamara. But look at the cigar on that bad boy. Destroy a tank hunter. No tanks to hunt, but it's here all the same. Got a Predator as well. Armed with a plasma cannon, which is exactly what you want to see against all this heavy infantry that Necron are bringing. And heavy infantry they are bringing. Got some pariahs, which are armed with very impressive looking war scythes. Assault Terminators now ready to play. We've got an orbital bombardment. Oh, let's get a cinematic view of this. Was it cancelled? Good lord. What is it about the past like 5 games and things being cancelled? There we go. Come on, get him. Look at that. A veritable exterminatus right in front of us, getting loads of models. Sadly, the RNG made most of those explosions go backwards, but hey ho, we don't ask for much. Doom Scythe now out on the field. Huge pink croissant. As an Englishman, this makes me very nervous. If the French ever get spacefaring technology, I imagine it'll be much like that. The Predator getting a couple of good shots off on it. Imperial Guard using their base to full effect to force the Necrons to not be able to move through these narrow corridors. Although a Soulstorm just straight on that mechanized command. Doesn't seem to be doing amazing damage against the mechanized commander, but it's at least stopping the guardsmen from jumping in and out. It does seem that slowly but surely the Necrons' advance is being whittled down, but these pariahs are no joke. Huge health pool, huge damage. Able to ruin the day of anyone that they come across. Instead of once, they'll say again, it's a crying shame that... Oh, with the Resurrection Orb! Look at that. That's how they're keeping the assault alive and well. It begins anew. All the Imperial Guard jump into their field commands and mechanized commands and open fire with their plas guns. Infantry command going to be slapped down. And the Predators, what are you doing? Are you going to go for the mission? So since they're not really doing all that much to help defend against this, they may as well pressure the map elsewhere, try and get some sort of base trade going. Doomsdive low on health, being repaired by the Builder Scarabs, but might potentially go down in the next few shots. Hekatari Witch is looking for a man to hold. And we'll get one. We'll get a couple, in fact, maybe even get a whole squad of men. Terminators holding up very well against the Pariahs. But it's quite low on health at the moment. Not sure if the Resurrection Orb works on Pariahs. There's the kind of human, kind of Necron hybrids, aren't they? Certainly not canon anymore. Which I was about to say earlier, I kind of wish that they brought them back. Another Chimera on the field. Doesn't look like... Yeah, the Imperial Guard are quite stuck for resources at the moment. Solar Pulse going down. It's quite a desperate situation for the boys. What's going on over here? Oh, we've got a Subspace Spire, and we're going to see the Star God's Wisdom. 1,400 green money to research that bad boy. So, potential for some really big units later on. Predators now in the Dark Eldar base. So now's the opportunity to either stay here and do as much damage as possible, or just commit to a defense. Which, to be fair, they've crippled the Imperial Guard economy and quite a bit of their tech. It will take them a while to recover. And with the Necrons going for this big old subspace sector, or spire, sorry, the next time that they attack, the second push will be doubly the deadly. Warrior Squad throwing away their lives. That's okay, because Dark Eldar can kind of just, like, come back to life, can't they? Greater Machine Nave. So potential for Titans. And just to remind you, boys and girls, I can't remember if I mentioned it at the beginning, this is an extermination game. So it's all about who can absolutely wipe out the opponents in the most succinct fashion. One Pariah and one Necron Lord left in this. So, oh no, sorry, we've got a small squadron on the back here. Yeah, these guys just aren't giving up. Throwing on another Resurrection. Jesus, this is unrelenting. The cooldown on the Resurrection Orb isn't too bad neither, is it? What was that? What was like a 3.5 minute, 4 minute cooldown? Morale being broken once again by Dark Eldar Globals. Yeah, not giving this Imperium team any chance to breathe. So what are you going for? You've gone for the upgrades have popped. What units can come from you? I'm super intrigued. I've never seen Necrons in tier 4 in Unification. But I am just as clueless as I imagine some of you will be. Although I imagine some of you Unification experts will be screaming at the screen. Do I have a Whirlwind? I'm going to press the amount of rockets that we saw just a moment ago. Sniping these Immortals. The Immortals are trying to go for this Great Machine Nave. Space Marine players kind of advertised his tech here, which is not the best place to put it. It's in the advancing path of these fighting forces. Let's have a quick look at the economies. 60 and 31, and 83 and 75% build speed, compared to 48 and 59, and 55 and 49. So definitely the best from the west are struggling with the beasts from the east. Pardon the very unoriginal rhyming scheme we had going on there. Here we go. What are you doing? You are going to go for an Onic Orb? It feels like as if they're missing a letter at the beginning there. I'm going to call it a Sonic Orb. After everyone's favourite animated character. Hekatari Witch Squads having a little look at these Imperial Guard. Still needing some more man-meat. It will not be denied, apart from when they are being cut down quite quickly, to be fair. But then again, Cassicans aren't your standard boys. A lot more going on for them. The Sigma males of the Imperial Guard do love the way that this building just kind of like... Look at that, just it makes it all go green. Like staring into your microwave. Cool. We won't watch that building for too long. When there's action to be had. Builder Scavs trying to capture his critical location in the middle. Grotesques. Zapping everyone with some zappy doodads. Not doing all that well, it has to be said, against these Devastators. I want to engage these guys into close combat, but there is a lot to go on, and you are kind of riding solo into this. Dark Eldar not really building up much of a fighting force here. In fact, what is your current army count? Only 4. And I imagine that is being occupied by the Grotesques. But they are standing firm. Soulstorm going on down here. Cutting off the retreat path of the Devastator squad. Managing to get a good number of their squads quite low health. Plasma cannon on this Predator. Rustling the jimmies of these Grotesques. Nothing from this Greater Machine Knave. What kind of economy are they playing with? They haven't got... Well, I mean, to get a Titan out, you need decent blue money and green money. And at the moment, we're not seeing much in the way of upgrades. Go on, I dare you. There we go. Decap that bad boy. Look at that. And look at you. A Sonic Orb. Getting Chernobyl vibes here. What kind of voice do you make? Can you speak? Kind of. Ionic Orb standing by. What else are you researching? Gonna go for a Tech Heavy Construct. Okay. Bringing out all the Necron toys here, boys and girls. Let's look at all the dead and dying. You can kind of see where the battle has taken place. That push right there was amazing to watch. Assault Terminators capturing the relics still. Elder Scouts decapping his critical location. And it's sometimes easy to forget about critical locations because you can't build listing posts on them, but... Wow, look at that! But yeah, critical locations do still give you a little bit of blue money. It's always worth going for it. Go on, shoot him again. Love the ominous floating of the Onic Orb. Very intimidating. And Necron is back up, so he can now just throw down a Resurrection Orb if he so chose. And split the attention of these guys instantly. I'm going to see some Trueborn coming out to play. Necron Warriors leading the charge. I have to slow down and just let this Sonic Orb catch up. Kind of like when you're playing a video game and you've got to do a escort mission, but the NPC that you're escorting is a fraction slower than your walking speed. I'm going to see a load of Necrons coming back to life. Doesn't seem to work on the Pariahs. Much to my shame. I'm going to see a Shadow Sword on the way. Oh, look at that. Trueborn opening fire. Not been upgraded with any of their Splinter Cannons, Dark Lancers, or etc, etc. God, it's so green it's even going to be yellow. That's how you know it's really green. So in this situation, I mean, yeah, okay, fair enough, we're going to go for a Shadow Sword. But can one relic unit... Oh no, that's quite the teleport range here. And how these guys are going to fare up, who knows? Shadow Sword, excellent against vehicles and buildings, so definitely the one you want to go for against this Onic Orb. Taking out that Greater Machine Knave. Now got some Dark Eldar in support. Look at the regen rate on this bad boy. Not too shabby. Soulstorm going on these guardsmen here. Going to force them backwards. Oh my goodness. Almost taking out, like, what was that? Nearly 2/3 of the Shadow Sword's health just by just one charged up shot. That's insane, man. There we go, 2 shots and you're down. What realistically can you do against an Onyx Orb? Apart from hope and pray to the God Emperor that he'll provide you some succor and some hope in these trying times. Terminators are going to try and clear away the chaff before they deal with the main big bad. Builder Scarabs on the side. Gonna repair it. Gonna go for a second Shadow Sword. Not sure if you want to go for that while this bad boy is straight in front of your Mars passing command. Senior Beam gonna go down here, and have they gone for there? Oh, the population's full, so we need to wait for the Onyx Orb to die. Oh no, he just needs to build another obelisk. Onyx Orb is going to teleport away. To be fair, it doesn't seem like it takes that much. It's got a lot of health, but it doesn't seem like it's got amazing armour. Land Raider Phoebus, all the relic units in the world now. And with twin link las cannons on both sides. Oh, they're going to stand up against this Sonic Orb and actually taking a good pounding there. What almost killed the Shadow Sword in one shot has only reduced it down to 1/10 of its health, but can't stand for a prolonged engagement. What a difficult situation these guys are in. Behind on the economy for the good portion of the mid-game. Now being out-teched, Necron Lord being an absolute nuisance. It's just free real estate at this point. Combination of Solar Pulse and Resurrection all being used to absolute full effect. It doesn't matter if the Necron Lord dies, because, well, he'll just respawn exactly there. I'm going to see an orbital bombardment going on this Onyx Orb. Terminator's trying to contend with these grotesques. And the Shadow Sword opening fire as best it can. But yeah, it's certainly not a durable structure. Which kind of balances out the insane amount of damage it does. And the fact when it sometimes misses as well. When it hits, it's amazing. When it misses, that's a very slow firing rate. You don't want to have a high miss chance on this. Can I get it? There we go. One final strike. And that Shadow Sword is down for the count. And do the Imperial Guard have the... They've got the... Oh, they can just buy more. They can just buy more. Space Marines also can kind of do something similar. Not got amazing economy, but they've got something. Gonna go for another Land Raider Phoebus. Necrons definitely need to repair this Sonic Orb as quickly as humanly possible. But I kind of want it to die just so we can see this Seraptic heavy construct. Got a secret Shadow Sword. I like this. We've got a Mars Pattern Command and a Mars Foundry. So we're going to see an Imperial Knight Hero on the way. Huge units. I remember when we started doing Unification on the channel, and it was very much games lasting 20 minutes at a time. We never got to any of the big units, but now I feel like as if a lot more people are playing and a lot more people are learning to play the game to a high standard. So we're seeing these more protracted out games, we're seeing these bigger units for us to gaze at and ogle. Chimera Pack being assisted by the Onyx Orb. But when these two relic units moving with a flanking attack, not sure if the Onyx Orb can stand up. It'll all be about if the Space Marines and Imperial Guard can hold on this bit. Land Raider Phoebus might be denied. In fact, it does look like it, just narrowly. Can he make it out? That is very unfortunate. Space Marines are going to have to reconcile by getting something else. Going to go for a Terminator Force Commander. Mars Pattern Command going to go down here, but that is a decoy. As the Shadow Sword opens fire over here. There we go, get your Tech Beast Engine Seers in the mix there. Got loads of Builder Scavs there. Not sure the engagement's going to go on. More Resurrection stuff going on. Field Command bringing out some guardsmen. But this Field Command is going down quite quickly. But we do have a secondary Field Command, but it is only tier 1 at the moment. We go for another infantry command. It is looking a bit dire for the Imperium here, boys and girls. It all depends on how these relic units are going to fare. Imperial Knight Hero on the way out, 90% done. Has to be the saving grace, just absolutely has to be. As the essence of the Nightbringer comes out from the shadows. If you remember that Rasmus song. I used to love Rasmus. Rasmus Dead Les, the first album I ever owned. Much to my chagrin and shame. Dark Eldar now turning their attention to the chapel barracks of the Space Marines. Necrons focusing on the Imperial Guard. And we do have the Imperial Knight Hero. Did you just... Oh, you've already killed it. Never mind. Quite impressive that. Look at all those rockets. And we do have Serapectic heavy constructs. Oh, it's like that film. Well, there's like giant robots fighting those giant aliens from the sea. Completely forgot what it's called. Look at that. Imperial Knight holding up well with support from the Shadow Sword. Heavy construct doesn't seem to be doing all that well. He's taking a good chunk of damage away from the Imperial Knight Hero. John Cena being thrown down on the Shadow Sword, going to prevent it from assisting. Also going to see a corrosive acid over the Imperial Knight Hero. Now, turns out turning a little bit, but the heavy construct does go down, being tippled over by the Imperial Knight Hero. Now he's going to move over into the Necron base and see what he can slice up. But the Field Command is going to be brought down if it's not assisted. Space Marines losing a lot of their initial stuff. I'm going to go for a Land Raider Helios. The Space Marines. Yeah, the Imperial Guard managed to save themselves just by the skin on their chinny chin chin. Revert Field Command being popped down here. The Imperial Knight Hero making very quick work of that subspace pillar. Has gone for a Reaper Chainsword, just to add to its close combat capabilities. Absolutely lethal unit. I'm going to see some prize. Might need to see some more Immortals. And some Canoptic Wraiths. Not sure if that's the optimal play to make here. Some big elbows being thrown out by this Shadow Knight. We do have some scouts pestering these Builder Scarabs. Necron Lord going up against the Chaplain. Chaplain manages to scare him away. And a Shadow Sword, that's very unfortunate. You needed to get some Tech Priest Agencies repairing that bad boy. Don't have the time or the resources or the inclination to waste these high-end units, and there we go, look at that. Also throwing that one away. Could have came in, destroyed that big, bad building, and then moved it away. Repairing a unit is always infinitely cheaper than replacing it. But are going to be replacing it all the same. 600 blue money, 600 green money. Not a cheap lad at all. Chimera pack. Stabbing the Land Raider Helios with the sharpness of their tails. But the Land Raider is kind of holding on. He's not too fussed by it. Yeah, he wants to get out of there. He doesn't want to stay there for much too longer, but those Land Raiders, man. A welfare version of a Baneblade, some might say, but they can certainly take a punch. And now it's kind of like that scene in Metal Gear Solid where two old men are just punching themselves, slowly but surely losing their breath. We've got two debilitated sides with quite limited economies, I do have to say. Apart from the Imperial Guard, actually, no, never mind, he's coming back with a vengeance. He's recapped all his nonsense. We go for some heavy bolter turrets to try and defend these Mars foundries. Canoptic Wraiths as well, looking to tie up anything and everything. Just any little inch of ground that they can make, any slight bit of power to tip the balance into their favour. It's all they need. These guys are going to try and get this Mars Foundry down. Not sure if they're able to do it, but the Imperial Knight Hero's build speed is very slow. This will be a game-changing event if they are able to get this Mars Foundry down. 97, 98, 99. There we go, the Imperial Knight is out. That is very unfortunate for the Eastern team. Now all hell will be let loose. Do have a Soulstorm going on this Imperial Knight. Not sure if it does much damage to the Knight there. Missiles coming out. Tech Priest Engine C is instantly going to repair this place. And the Essence of the Nightbringer will come out once again. Immortal, unable to take any damage. And does a lot of damage in return. Are going to see a Relic of Mars. Okay. So potentially even bigger units. Oh, you think that the Imperial Knight Hero is the biggest toy that the Imperial Guard could bring to bear? Absolutely not. There's more. There's always more. Imperial Command providing some firing spot. Look at the range on these guys. Got to take care of these pariahs. The Imperial Knight not really going to go down without a fight here. Giving them the old uppercut, the old side swipe. And what's the Spaceman player doing in this current stage? Oh, he's just going on a jolly. If he's able to take care of these obelisks, drastically reduce the squad cap of the Necrons. And we also get Storm Talon as well. Playing a supportive role in aiding this Imperial Knight Hero, who's now looking a little bit worse for wear here. More Necrons coming back from the dead. Lilith Hesperex. However one pronounces that name. Look at that charge. Look at those shots. Giving them an old kick in the face. For slicing his jugular. Wonderful attack animations here. The Imperial Knight Hero needs some support. Thankfully some Assault Terminators and one singular Commissar going to rally the boys. Mars Foundry though looks like it's going to be in a sad place. Being attempted to be repaired by a Tech Priest Engine Seer, but one man against all these Necrons and a squad of pariahs. Oh no, he's actually, in saying that, he's out repairing their DPS, sir. Nice. Triple Storm Talons now. And these Chimera packs have got no defense against flying units. Same with these Grotesques. Well, they've got a little bit of range attack, but nothing major. What a stubborn defense from the Imperial Guard here. Land Raider Phobos as well, taking advantage of everyone focusing on the south side of the map, is now wreaking havoc in the base. Trueborn Warriors, unupgraded with any kind of useful weaponry, will be stricken down. Are going to see another Theraptic Heavy Construct. Will probably be taken down way quicker than it can build one of those lads. And the Mars Foundry has been saved. The Guardsmen, just to keep everyone sweet. And yeah, now the Western team are in a much stronger position. Shadow Sword on its way out. Yeah, we've got some Necrons over here rebuilding their energy core, but is that going to do much? Especially when their Subspace Spire has gone down for a second time. Now Storm Talon's moving in, provide additional support. Grotesques going to feel the brunt of their bolters. Oh, it's got all these plasma generators in the red. Guardsmen pushing down the south side towards the Dark Eldar base. But then again, I mean, we have seen the Space Marines and Imperial Guard hold off on their own right, so maybe, potentially, that's a thing that could happen here. Seeing an orbital bombardment, wiping out a plasma generator or two. Grotesques being manhandled. We do have a Terminator Force Commander as well, joining the lads. Necron Monolith, feeling the brunt of the power hammers, or the thunder hammers, sorry, of the Assault Terminator squads. And that is just emotional. So I think I'm gonna, you know what, I'm gonna hazard a guess. I'm gonna watch this final conclusion, but I'm gonna hazard a guess of the forces of the Imperium have won today. But my goodness, those Necron players just constantly being on the attack, using that Resurrection Orb to full effect. Been really impressive to watch. And the Dark Eldar, certainly, I mean, maybe in the early game they were a little bit not as aggressive as they could have been, but using those Chimera packs and the Grotesques just to add very specific amount of DPS to very specific units, almost being the scalpel to the Necron's bludgeoning hammer. But the Imperial Guard, the most honest faction in Tier 1 at the very least, able to defend like no man's business. Space Marines, especially those Honor Guard in the early game, opening a little bit of a path for them. So yeah, we'll call it there. God, this has been a long game, hasn't it? If you want to support the channel, there is a Discord where you can have a look at some games and play some events and whatnot. There's a Patreon as well to support the channel, £1 a month. Just get your one extra game a week. My name's Mr. Landshark. Pleasure as always, never a chore. I will see you in a bit. Peace.